The Bengals haven't even played their first preseason game yet, and already a few rookies are making it very difficult to ignore what's happening in training camp. Some of these young players came in with questions around them, but now they're starting to earn better reps, more attention, and possibly bigger roles than many expected this early. And with Cincinnati getting ready to face the Detroit Lions on Thursday night, we're about to find out whether all of this training camp momentum can carry over into an actual game. Before we get into it, hit the like button and subscribe if you're a Bengals fan, because this preseason is going to give us a much clearer look at which young players are truly ready to help this team. Now, let's get to what matters. We have to start with Casius Howell. Howell was Cincinnati's first selection in the 2026 NFL Draft, coming in the second round as another edge rusher from Texas A&M. There was some skepticism when the Bengals made the pick, but since arriving in Cincinnati, Howell has continued to give people reasons to feel better about it. He looked good through the early off-season work, and now that training camp is underway, the positive reviews have only gotten stronger. People inside the building have noticed him. Players have spoken positively about him. The media watching practice has been impressed, and, most importantly, Howell has started creating moments on the field that back all of that up. One reaction shared by Dan Horde came from somebody standing near a coach during defensive line drills. When the drill ended, the reaction was basically, "Did you see Casius? Holy blank." That's the kind of response you want your rookie pass rusher creating. Albert Breer also shared some very interesting information about how highly Cincinnati apparently valued Howell before the draft. According to Breer, Howell would have been among the players the Bengals discussed if they had not traded the number 10 pick. Instead, Cincinnati was able to land him in the second round. That makes his start to camp even more interesting. Breer described Howell as a monster in camp, and specifically pointed to the speed and explosiveness he showed in college, now appearing during Bengals practices. And we've already seen one rep that got a lot of attention. Howell went against Orlando Brown Jr., initially attacking with speed, before adding some strength to the rep. Brown ended up on the ground. You can argue whether Brown tripped or whether Howell completely won the rep, but the important part is that Howell created another noticeable moment against an experienced Bengals offensive lineman. Now the rookie is also beginning to see more work with the starters. Howell said that after getting a few reps with that group here and there, he recently received what he considered his first real stretch of good, solid, quality reps with the ones. He said it gave him some confidence, but also made clear that no matter who lines up across from him, he wants to bring the same competitive energy. That progression matters. He hasn't simply been handed a major role. He has looked good, earned more opportunities, and gradually started moving up. Another interesting part of Howell's game is his versatility. He has experience playing as a stand-up edge defender, rather than always putting his hand in the dirt. That gives him the ability to rush, but also occasionally drop into coverage. He did that in college, and Cincinnati has already been using some of that ability during camp. That gives the Bengals another option defensively and makes Howell a little more interesting than a player who can only line up and rush forward every snap. But Howell isn't the only rookie who has been changing some opinions. Tacario Davis deserves credit too. There were questions when Cincinnati selected Davis in the third round. The pick felt early to some people, especially considering there were other needs the Bengals could have addressed. But training camp has started to change that conversation. Davis has played well, and his physical profile immediately gets your attention. He's around 6'4" and 194 pounds, with roughly 34-inch arms. That size and length give him some unusual tools at cornerback. The concern entering the NFL was that his later college seasons weren't as strong as his earlier work, and injuries had also been part of the picture. But what Cincinnati has seen recently has been encouraging. There have been highlights, competitive reps, And one very important sign of how well Davis is doing: his place on the depth chart. He was listed second behind Dax Hill. For a rookie corner, that matters. It means Davis is putting himself in position to potentially become one of the next players Cincinnati turns to if it needs help in the secondary. And the work he's getting in practice is valuable. When he's facing the top group, he can find himself going against Bengals receivers in one-on-one situations. When he's working with the second group, one of the matchups that has gotten attention has been Davis against fellow rookie Kobe Young. Those two have been going at each other repeatedly. And that takes us directly to Young, because there is no way to talk about Bengals rookies having strong training camps without talking about him. Young has been one of the most noticeable rookies on the field. The biggest thing is that the highlights haven't come from one practice. They keep happening. He has made high-point catches. He has scored touchdowns. He has caught passes from Joe Burrow and Joe Flacco. He has stepped into Jamar Chase's spot at times. Day after day, Young keeps showing up. And when a rookie does that consistently, the conversation naturally gets bigger. Now people are asking whether Young should start, where he might fit, and how much playing time Cincinnati should give him. Those questions don't happen unless a player forces people to ask them. Young is doing that, but Thursday night against Detroit is the next step. Training camp highlights are great. Now, do it in a game. Can Young get open against Detroit? Can he finish plays? Can he continue making those difficult catches when he's facing another team? That is what makes this preseason opener so interesting. The same thing applies to Howell and Davis. We've heard the reports. We've seen the training camp moments. Now we get to see what happens when the opponent changes. And there's another rookie who deserves some attention: Brian Parker. The sixth-round pick out of Duke has already shown why versatility can be so valuable for a young offensive lineman. Parker has experience at guard, center, and tackle, and Cincinnati has actually needed him to move around during camp. With Connor Lew unavailable, Parker worked as the backup center. He has also returned to guard and can provide help at tackle if needed. That kind of flexibility can be extremely useful for a rookie trying to establish his value. Instead of being limited to one position, Parker gives Cincinnati multiple possibilities. And the Bengals' handling of the offensive line during camp might also say something about how comfortable they are with the group. There had been discussion about Cincinnati potentially needing a swing tackle, but the Bengals have not gone out and added one. Parker's ability to move around contributes to the options they already have, along with Cody Ford and Connor Lew as part of the depth. So when you put everything together, this rookie group is creating some very different kinds of excitement. Howell is bringing speed and explosiveness off the edge. Davis is using his length and size at cornerback while climbing into an interesting spot on the depth chart. Young keeps making enough plays at receiver that people are already discussing whether he deserves a bigger role. Parker is proving that his versatility can make him useful across the offensive line. Now, all of them get a different kind of test. Thursday night against the Lions. This is where training camp starts meeting game action. For Howell, I want to see if that explosiveness immediately shows up against Detroit. He has received great reviews, created a big rep against Orlando Brown Jr., and begun getting more work with the starters. Now, let's see how he looks against another team. For Davis, the opportunity is also very real. Dax Hill will not play Thursday, and considering Davis was listed behind him on the depth chart, that makes the rookie corner even more interesting to watch. This is a chance for Davis to show that his strong camp can translate to a game setting. Young might have the biggest spotlight of all. When a receiver keeps producing highlights in practice, fans naturally want to see what happens once the preseason begins. If Young makes another big play against Detroit, those conversations about his role are going to get even louder, and Parker will have his own opportunity to prove that all of that positional flexibility can hold up when the game moves faster. There is also some injury news to keep in mind heading into Thursday. Zach Taylor said Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Dexter Lawrence are expected to play. Exactly how long they stay on the field and how many drives they get remains something to watch. On the other side, Brian Cook, Connor Lew, Eric All Jr., and Dax Hill will not play. Taylor indicated that nobody in that group is dealing with anything overly serious, but they will be held out against Detroit. That makes some of these rookie opportunities even more important, especially for Davis. With Hill unavailable, this could be a very useful night for evaluating where the rookie corner currently stands. And that really is the bigger story here. Nobody needs to declare these rookies stars before the preseason even starts. But they have already earned attention. Howell has earned it because he continues to impress and receive better opportunities. Davis has earned it because he has played well enough to make people reconsider some of the initial reaction to his draft position. Young has earned it because the highlights keep stacking up. Parker has earned it because he has already shown Cincinnati that he can handle more than one job. Now they have to take the next step. Game action. That's why Thursday night is worth watching beyond the final score. Pay attention to where these rookies line up. Watch who they're playing with. Watch whether Howell creates pressure. Watch Davis when the football comes his direction. Watch every opportunity Young gets in the passing game, and watch where Cincinnati uses Parker along the offensive line. Those details could tell us a lot about how the Bengals currently view this rookie class. And the biggest question might be whether Cincinnati is willing to give any of them meaningful roles if they keep earning those opportunities. If Howell continues to win reps, how much does his role grow in the edge rotation? If Young keeps making plays, does Cincinnati find a bigger role for him? If Davis performs well, how quickly can he become a corner the Bengals trust? Those are the questions this preseason can begin answering. Training camp has already provided the setup. Casius Howell has gone from a second-round selection that came with some skepticism to a player getting major praise and reps with the starters. Tacario Davis has gone from a pick that created questions to a rookie making a strong impression and moving up the depth chart. Kobe Young has produced enough highlights that people are already talking about whether he could start. Brian Parker has shown exactly why his ability to play multiple offensive line positions matters. And now Detroit is next. So I want to hear from you. Which Bengals rookie are you most excited to watch Thursday night? Are you buying what Casius Howell has shown so far? Has Tacario Davis changed your opinion of that third-round pick? Do you think Kobe Young deserves a serious opportunity if he continues making plays? And which of these rookies do you believe has the best chance to earn meaningful playing time? Drop your opinion in the comments, because this first preseason game could tell us a lot about which young Bengals are ready to turn training camp momentum into something much bigger. Hoo-day!